The Stage and Tucker Blake line obviously did a number on the power play there. How positive of that, knowing that you can roll two lines out there and rely on both of them almost as much as you do the other?
Well, it builds a little positive competition, and as a coach, it gives you a place to go. Clearly, Mats and Nick Antropov, who's our leading power play goal scorer, the guys that we put the most pressure on this year to go out and score goals in the power play. It hasn't always been successful, but they've taken the bulk, and we didn't feel we had really a secondary unit that had any cohesion, but because they played together as a line, I think they're starting to show some of those things in the power play. And, really in the first one, you're hoping to score clearly, but you'd like to see one of the two units look like they've got it going, that they're excited about being out there, and it's somehow easier for them. And then I think we'll just run the other one first, but both groups will get fairly close to the same amount of time.
You guys have been playing really well as of late, but still, you look back 2 weeks ago, you were 6 points back, and you look back as we speak, and you're still 6 points back.
Yeah.
Is that frustrating at all, knowing that it's such a climb?
It's a real good statement of how many points you'd be back if you weren't. We've played well since about January 15th. We're closing in on 2 months now. We played a pretty good style of hockey, and we understand we're in a difficult situation, but we feel there's enough games and important games in front of us that we can make an honest run at making the playoffs this year, and there's a good feeling in the room, and it's not just because you score 8 goals in a game, but I think they understand that over the last 2 months they've been a pretty darn good team.
Any idea why it took so long to finally get that engine firing?
Oh, we had a month where we had 2 of our top 4 out for a long time, and our goalie went down. Where most teams aren't. You saw it happen when Detroit, when they got a couple injuries on their blue line. We need those guys in our lineup, and we need them playing. It puts everybody else in the position that they should be playing in. And when you're playing a little bit better defensively, you generate more offense. But most importantly, you have a template and a game plan for how you want to play that game. I think having Carlo, he played 23 games this year isn't enough, because we had him slated in our top 4, and having Brian down for 27 games, I think Pav down for 9, took its toll on us, and we were able to recover from that. That being said, there were games in there that I think overall as a group we felt we had the people and that we could have performed better.
Are you a guy that can look at the standings right now and play that shoulda, coulda, woulda game?
It's a game a month. When you look back at what separates you from the ones in the middle of the pack, it's 1 game a month, so you do that, but that's energy wasted at this point.
What's Alex Dean doing right there?
Well, he looks like he's really moving. He's getting on the body a little bit too, and I think that line can use that. We don't necessarily want Matt's running guys, but I think that Alex has come back off his injury, and sometimes when you take 3 or 4 days off because of an injury, you get a little rested and you get some junk back in your legs, and he came back in, and for every forward, if you're producing and getting some points, you start to feel better about yourself, and you somehow find an extra gear.
Well, is the biggest thing tonight going to be staying patient and stick to your game?
Yeah, very much so, but it's not a patience where you sit back. They're a lot better on the attack than I think people give them credit for. They just don't attack when they don't have the puck. They won't cheat for it, so you don't have to worry about that. The problem is that if you do, that's where they make their money, and they rely on the fact that if you get a couple of breaks on them, their guy's going to more than not stop that puck. So not feeling, the big fear is you come into this game feeling we're going to do something special to beat their goaltender, and because of that we're going to have to hang a forward in the offensive zone and cheat or pinch a D when we can't, and you get that frustration, and that's the most dangerous thing to do against this team. Right, straight on.